The Fear of Winter, Book 1 in the Fear Of series. Written by S.C. Sterling. Narrated by Jess Nahikian. Tom released the death grip on the steering wheel, and with his eyes closed, he put the Forerunner in park. Leaning back into the headrest, he listened to his heart pounding against his chest and took a few deep breaths in an attempt to calm his nerves. At almost 60 miles per hour, the collision had been a blur, and he'd had no opportunity to swerve, but that was probably for the best. He exhaled, then opened his eyes. The Forerunner had come to a stop at a 30-degree angle, diagonally across the highway in the gravel shoulder. The passenger side headlight was dark, and the driver's side headlight beamed into the dense forest. Outside, the trees were motionless. There were no signs of the animal, but judging by the impact, Tom's best guess was that it had been a deer, maybe a fawn. He'd hit an adult male elk as a teenager, and it had collapsed the roof, almost crushing him inside the car. Luckily, this impact wasn't as catastrophic. Tom pressed the hazard button and turned off the vehicle, then rolled down the window. He listened for a few moments, but the only thing he could hear was his heart. He stepped out of the car and quietly shut the door. The night was cold against his ears and neck. The temperature was probably in the low 20s, maybe even in the teens. He walked to the front of the Forerunner to survey the damage. The radiator grille, bumper, and right front fender were caved in. The passenger side headlight was completely missing, and the Colorado native license plate frame was shattered. Blood was spattered across the hood and fender, and strains of fur were entwined in the plastic cracks. Tom turned back to the embankment, looking to the east, then west, then back. But there was no sign of the animal. His head hurt. Probably a concussion from hitting the windshield. Trudging to the rear of the Forerunner, he opened the hatch, retrieved the roadside emergency kit, and removed a flashlight. He shined the light across the highway and followed the skid marks, which stretched about 30 feet, maybe longer. The smell of rubber still hung in the air. Tom started back along the embankment, shining the light across the forest. He contemplated driving away, but his conscience wouldn't let him sleep, knowing there could be a mortal...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?